Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is directed by Quentin Tarantino and stars Leonardo DiCaprio as Rick Dalton and his stuntman Cliff Booth. And they are going through a Hollywood in the 1960s. It just sort of doesn't recognise them anymore. Rick Dalton's sort of a washout cowboy western actor, becoming a bad guy and sort of noticing that. Oh yeah, and Sharon Tate's there as well. Look, I love film, of course I do, and being a film guy, I love Quentin Tarantino, but I'm not going to go through the step-by-step funny bullshit I do to sort of make people guess to see if I like it. This one's pretty easy. This, for me, is Quentin Tarantino's worst film to date. The thing that mostly got me about this movie was that I was confused. Now let me explain why I'm confused about this movie. Well, number one, for me, how the fuck did this movie get an 8.4 on IMDb? I'm utterly confused about that. And number two, Mr. Tarantino, sir, if that is your real name, there is some things that you need to learn. Even if you do have the best cast in the world, in this movie there is some amazing people. There is Kurt Russell, Margot Robbie, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt. There's plenty of A-list players in this movie, but that does not necessarily make this a good movie just because you've spent and spunked the money on some people that people have heard of. Guys, I'll be honest, I was super looking forward to this movie, to see Leo back again in a Quentin Tarantino movie, as well as Brad Pitt. Inglourious Basterds for Pitt, he was amazing. Let's not forget the movie that DiCaprio should have won an Oscar for in Django Unchained. Those two together, you've got some of the best movies in the 9 now of Tarantino's movies. Inglourious and Django are two of my favourites. So to put those two together is just amazing. What could have gone wrong with that? Honestly, I looked for the intensity that Brad Pitt put into Inglourious and that Leo put into Django. There was nothing even slightly like those two movies in this one. I think one of the things that mainly wound me up is, look, I've talked about him before, Chris Stuckman, one of my favourite YouTubers and probably the reason I started doing what I'm doing on this channel. He did a review on this movie. I wanted to wait till I saw his till I did mine. Honestly, the guy there's like Tarantino love coming out of every pore, and yeah, I understand it, I love him as well, but there's some things that you just can't forgive even because he made Pulp Fiction. It can't be an excuse forever. Honestly, guys, there is no story in this movie whatsoever. To me, it just feels like sketches. It's like 50 sketches to make a 2-hour, 40-minute movie. It didn't feel connected. What really got me is there's occasional bits where I forget I'm watching a piece of shit because Leo is doing so well, or Pitt is doing amazing, having a fight with Bruce Lee and all this shit. There's some amazing glimpses, and it disappoints me that it drags on and meanders on, and I actually was bored. Not since Transformers, that last piece of shit they did, have I felt this bored in a movie. And it's not just any movie, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, a movie where there should be blood and guts and I should be loving it. But I just wasn't, and it's such a fucking annoying thing. It's not a shame, it's annoying. Honestly, people walked out of the theatre when I was in there. For a Quentin Tarantino movie, that is just bullshit. Honestly, I don't know where the praise is coming from. Some people I met my good buddy Owen outside of the theatre before I went in, and he said that people walked out and said this is the best movie ever of his. I don't understand. Honestly, it confuses me. There is nothing in this. And I've heard some of the reports saying, oh well, some films don't need a linear story. Of course they fucking do, otherwise they just go into nothing. That's what this is. It's nothing. It's just sketches with Leo and fucking Pitt in it. Guys, it honestly felt rushed. Like, he's done 9 movies now, so I just want to get to the 10th. It felt like he didn't give a shit. And for a man who's so meticulous and has made some films that will go down in history as some of the greatest movies of all time, this one is honestly, people can say Jackie Brown or Death Proof all they want as being the shit. No, fuck that. This is absolutely the most random piece of shit in the world with occasional bits of gold in it from Leo. And Pitt was hilarious. That is the only thing that really, without them two, there's no need for Sharon Tate. You just get Margot Robbie in it. Fine, I love her, of course I do, but there's no need for it. Honestly, the ending as well was just like, what the fuck? There's nothing there. I'm just going to get to the rating because I'm going to rant on for hours and we don't have that much time. Guys, with all of this being said, I'm going to give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a 1 out of 5. Guys, if Pitt and DiCaprio weren't so good in this movie, it would have got a 0, honestly. I wanted to check it out just to see who agrees with me. So guys, before you go, please let me know if you have seen this movie. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know in the comments down below, because I really want to know what people thought of the latest Quentin Tarantino movie that I got so angry about. So yeah, let me know guys, and until next time, this is your friendly neighbourhood ginger guy saying ginge out.